When people think of technology, they have to think of you. It's the same thing as, for example, Mission Impossible with James Bond. Who do you think about as soon as you hear Mission Impossible and we hear action, when you hear men's movies, you think of freaking James Bond, 007, right? And it's the same concept for tech. You have to be present in people's minds all the time. It doesn't matter what social media it is, it doesn't matter what channel you're posting on, it doesn't matter what the message is. They just have to think of you all the time. And how do people think of you? They have to see you. It really is that simple. You might go to an event and people are going to see you at the event. You might be posting, for example, on Instagram. They opened Instagram, they saw a video of in as soon as they opened Instagram, you posted a video, bam, they saw a reel of you or a story. They opened LinkedIn, bam, there is a thought leadership post you posted. They opened GitHub, bam, there is a new post, not a new post, there is a new PR you made to your repository. They opened YouTube, bam, there is a new video of you talking to the camera. They opened Twitter, X, bam, there is a reply that you replied to someone. You just have to be present in people's minds all the time. I do the same thing. For example, you are watching this video now here on YouTube. I've been trying to post every single day on Instagram as much as possible. I try to aim always for 3 to 5 stories per day, not reels yet. I will get to this point, but for now it's been only stories. I post here on YouTube. Before I was posting daily on LinkedIn. I have to go back, by the way. I also am on X, not that frequently, I just lurk around, but where I actually shine is on Discord. I'm part of a few communities. With some guys in Brazil, with some other guys here in Canada, and basically every single time I see a question, bam, I answer. Every single time someone has a feedback, I answer. Every single time, anything. You just have to be present and giving people value. But then you might ask yourself, what the hell do I post? And here's my tactic. This is how I did, and this is how I always tell people to do. It's basically to allocate 1/3 of your time. It should go into building something. You should be building something every day, okay? After your 9 to 5, you go back home and you can't just sit down and watch some TV. You have to get on your laptop and build something. As soon as you finish, for example, you go to university, you finish your classes, you went back home, or maybe before your classes, you should be building something. As soon as, for example, if you are working a shift-based job, just like I used to be a server working late night shifts. I would start at 4 p.m. and go all the way to 2, 3 a.m. sometimes. I hope that's on you. If it is, I'm praying for you. But if that's you, basically you have to enjoy the morning, the afternoon before you go to work. You can't just do nothing. You have to be building. In 1/3 of your free time, you build. The other 1/3 of your free time you should be sharing. And by sharing here, that's what I mean. It might be any different platform you choose. I try to be everywhere. It's kind of a problem because if you're everywhere, you kind of nowhere, but it's okay. And you have to be posting everywhere. Sharing here means basically you go on LinkedIn and you answer someone. You go on Discord and you send a meme. You you decided to make an update to your whatever you're building. You just go and share on LinkedIn, on X. You come here on YouTube and you teach people how you did Z thing you just did. This is what sharing means. Sharing is the part, as I said before, you have to be present in people's minds, and by being present, it means that you have to be posting stuff every single day. Same concept here. As soon as they open Instagram, bam, you're there. As soon as they open LinkedIn, bam, you're there. X, boom, you're there. YouTube, bam, you're there. You don't have to go all of those different platforms, of course. Just choose whatever you feel most comfortable in. Because, for example, when I started, I didn't want to record videos. Then I was posting every day on LinkedIn because LinkedIn is just text. But then I got to a point where I realized, you know what? No one cares. No one cares. Let me just record these videos and probably no one is even gonna watch it. So it's all right. You just have to choose something you feel most comfortable in and go every single day. Reply to someone, be friends with people, add whatever. I used to tell people to not do that, but nowadays I realize it doesn't matter. Just connect with people. Not don't go crazy by connecting with the CEO of Nvidia, Jensen Huang. Don't it doesn't make sense. Connect with people in your city, connect with people in your niche, connect with people who follow the same thing. For example, you decided to reply to someone on LinkedIn. Someone posted a company posted a new announcement, and then someone said something in the comments, and then you replied to that person's comments. Just go and connect with them. And that's what I mean by connection. Don't just go and request to a bunch of randoms. I think that doesn't make any sense at all. I never accept randoms on my LinkedIn, but I mean, it's a strategy, and who am I to judge? No, I am here to judge. Exactly. Don't do that. It looks not nice, and you look low value when you're doing that. And then the last one third you have to allocate into going outside. You can't see, but there's a window here. You have to go outside and meet new people. Shocking, right? Because guess what? Who's gonna hire you? People. Who's gonna like your posts? People. Who will invite you to events? People. Everything is people. So please allocate one third to building, one third to sharing, and one third to going outside, going to events, going to hosting stuff. If there is no events close to you, host something. If there is no group that weekly host weekly meetups, you start something and get people together. If you go to university, for example, it's extremely easy to get people to do that. If you are in university, if it's not your case, find a way. And if you can't find a way to meet new people, you can do that online. You can do it online. You can go on X. I think X is the best community building if you want to meet new people. It won't be through LinkedIn because on X, everyone is more raw and unfiltered, let's say. So just go in there. You're gonna see how many people are anonymous. They don't have profile pictures, and they are still getting jobs. They are still getting uh, investments, and that's a crazy one. I find it so interesting when people just share how someone decided to invest in their company and give them money just because they were posting stuff online. And then you're gonna see the person's profile. They don't have a profile picture. They don't have a personal portfolio. I really don't get how this happens, but it does. You should, if you are on X, you probably know what I'm talking about. It happens quite often, but it just goes to show that even those random guys who don't have a profile picture, they might have a few years of experience, but still they don't have a profile picture, but they are sharing their thoughts every single day, and that's what matters at the end of the day. People relate with people, and you want to be relatable. It's the same concept as I heard someone saying that you shouldn't be looking to get a job the same way your parents did 50 years ago. My parents are 50, so like 30 years ago. Well, yeah, 30 years ago it might have worked because you were competing with people in your neighborhood. You were competing with your neighbor who lives here in the same building as you do. You were competing with the guy who lives next the block downstairs there. You were competing with the guy who, if you're trying to go for a big company, you were competing with someone in your city. Nowadays, everyone is applying to everything. I'm here in Ottawa, but if I want to apply to a role all the way in Vancouver, I can't. I can. The competition is just crazy. It doesn't work the same way. Companies, everyone complains that they can't hire, and then people looking for jobs complain that they can't get a job. So it's like there is something wrong. And to not rig the system, but win this game of getting a job, you have to become a face. And this is something I'm going to start to talk more about in this channel, is how you have to become a face. Because if you are just a resume.pdf on some random recruiter's software, you're not getting a job. You're not getting a job. That's what happened to me. I started to post on LinkedIn every single day. I started to share about my mobile app. I started to share my wins, share my losses, I started to share my thoughts. They call it thought leadership, but I started to share what I think. And guess what? I got a freelancing opportunity. I got a second freelancing opportunity, who later basically became they tried to hire me, but I already had a job, so I said no. Then I got my current job because I met someone, and then this guy told me, "Oh, I know someone," and then he kept seeing my posts, and then he referred me to this other person. I got my job this way. I had someone reach out to me because they saw my post and they saw my GitHub, and then they referred me to someone. I had a conversation, and but I already had a job, so they didn't take it. But all of this, I never got any a response back from applying to available positions online. Everything that came to me was basically passive opportunities. And I'm not even telling you about all the people who reached out to me saying, "Hey, bro, do you want to build something together?" And this happens quite often. In fact, this previous week, it happened 4 times. 4 times. Someone I met a year ago and I didn't speak to him again. He sent me a message. Someone from university sent me a message on Instagram. And then someone who used to be a closer friend sent me a message on WhatsApp saying, "Hey, bro, do you want to build something? And I'm looking for a job. Can you refer me?" And it's just an example of how when you were putting yourself out there and people were seeing you from all those different lenses. They see you on Instagram, they see you on LinkedIn, they see you on X, they see you on YouTube. They start to think, damn, this guy is a G. This guy knows something that I don't know. Then you see that this guy has a job. Then you see this guy still has time to do all the stuff he wanted to do. You see this guy is still giving value back to his community and the people he likes. You immediately like this guy. Immediately. It's the same thing, for example, it just happened. I'm Brazilian, and our president has been telling journalists that he doesn't want to talk to Donald Trump. And then today or yesterday, basically Trump and Brazil's president they saw each other for 30 seconds in a hallway, and Trump said in an interview later, not an interview, but anyways, he spoke on the microphone. He said, "Oh, I met Lula for 30 seconds and he was such a very nice guy and I really like him and I only do business with people I like and yada yada yada." So there you go. They were before they didn't like each other because they never spoke to each other, and then they had a 30-second conversations. And Trump was actually not mimicking, but he was making fun of Brazil's president from what I could see in the video. But anyways, same concept applies here. They saw each other for 30 seconds after never speaking to one another, and Trump immediately goes on international television and says, "I like this guy. We spoke for 30 seconds and I only do business with people I do like." Same concept here. Recruiters are gonna only hire you, gonna refer you, are gonna try to interview you if they like who you are, if they agree with whatever you share, because at the end of the day, we are all people.